Okay, let us get into this. Your stem is already out. I need to pull the crown post from the crown. Let's do that now. And in case anybody's wondering, the key is to use heat. Gotta use heat. Because Seiko used an adhesive. Gotta heat it up. See how I did. That heat soak in for a sec. No, not yet. Hotter. Boy, does not want to turn out. Okay, cool. There that is. Now post out. That one's a little stiff. I might replace that male post. I don't want to have any risk of a snap. There's your crown gasket. There's your crown. Okay. Next thing, I want to get that shroud off of there. Out. One, two, three screws. Your shroud is not flexible. Sure hope I don't break this thing coming out. I need to warm it up. You can see it's got this impacted gruck and dirt and stuff on here, which I will have hand clean off. I'm gonna have to do some corrosion remediation too. I'm not sure how hardcore that'll be. This might just be gruck. It seems to move a little bit. I think it's just gruck. There might be a little bit of surface pitting there, but yeah. Okay. Let's get this thing apart. That is not a Seiko screw. A little bit of corrosion on the back of your dial, but not much. I will hand clean that though. There, it's on that thing. Now, Okay, now I'm going to take apart this main train. I want to be right on top of that when I do that, so I'm going to rip this train apart off screen and then get all this stuff cleaned, and then I will come back when I'm starting to get ready to reassemble. Okay. Okay, here we are post-servicing on the Quartz Sister QT99. These have a variable trimmer, which means you can adjust them down to very tight tolerances in terms of timekeeping. This is seconds, tenths of seconds, hundredths of seconds. That's pretty outstanding. What I like to do is, if, I actually personally like to have it, if it's going to be one side or the other, or fast or slow, I like it to be a little fast so that you run less of a risk of being late for something. If anything, you'll be a little early. And that's what we want. There's the movement. In Vintage Time Australia's movement holder. That's what we want. Okay, and now I'm going to work on the case. Ancient old gasket. Don't need to hand clean this. There's your old crystal. There's your chapter ring. Go over there. And there's your case. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get in there and there's your first C-clip. is, there's your gasket totally flattened out. This one does not want to move. Don't. Boy, that one's tough. Does not want to come out. There we go. That is stuck. Yeah, look at that. The gasket's actually like in pieces. I'm going to start cleaning this off with the chemicals. Okay, now we're going to come back. Okay, you might remember I had some trouble getting these buttons out of the case. This lower, well actually that's the upper button. This upper button here, this is the light button. There was some scoring and corrosion on the inside of the tubes. You can see it's sort of a dark spot right in here. I've polished them up and cleaned them as best as I can. You just need to be aware the surface here isn't perfect. Of more note, greater note, these are your buttons. And if you look, see this little channel right here? That's where your seal sits. So again, this also has a little bit of pitting in it. You just need to be aware of that. This one, I think the previous somebody, when they were working on this, oops, come here. there's like a little dink in that surface. It's a you can see it's right there. Yeah, look at, see how this surface isn't flat right there? It dips in. That's more corrosion. It looks like it got, you know, I cleaned it out best as I can. The sealing surfaces are still intact on either side of it, and this whole channel is going to be filled with a gasket. Just, I wouldn't necessarily want to trust these gaskets in this case on these buttons 100%. Just be judicious in your water exposure for that reason. These buttons are not, the replacements are not sold, so this is what we've got. Got them clean, I'll grease the heck out of them. And there we are. Everything works smartly as it should. Here's your light. That's as bright as these are supposed to be. It's certainly readable in the dark. Everything works as it should. This is the new shroud that you asked for, because I wasn't sure about your old one. You wanted to just go ahead and replace that, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be, if your original one was going to come off in pieces. Your original one did break off in pieces. I barely put any pressure on it and it snapped right off. I was afraid of this happening. You can kind of see the sort of the shiny end of this stuff. It gets really, really brittle and weird, especially considering that these started out as being plastic. And now whatever this material is just couldn't hang on. You know, I barely touched it and it came off. So you'll get that back. There's your old shroud. Here are your gaskets. And here's your original crystal. You got a genuine new old stock Hattori Seiko Co. limited crystal. And that is what is in this watch right now. With it all getting all new gaskets, the rotating ring also has a new gasket. So you'll notice it's going to have a lot more resistance than it did. And that's the way it's supposed to be. This is correct, and I'm having trouble with it because I'm wearing these gloves, but so you'll notice that feels tighter and smoother. It clicks through 360 degrees. Your crown screws down as it should, and there it is. Okay, now I'm done. Thank you so much.